Hi, everybody, and welcome. I hope that you are all taking very best care this evening. For those of you who don't yet know me, my name is Nina, and I'm curator of programs and interpretations at the Williams College Museum of Art. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce tonight's program, which you all just got a little taste of. As you entered, we had some music composed and performed live by Zach Han, one of tonight's wonderful presenters in our yoga and live music program. Tonight's event is part of the Cures for Strange Times series, a weekly art and wellness workshop program. Over the next 4 weeks, a different pair of art and wellness practitioners from our incredible local Berkshire community will come together to offer participatory experiences that center reflection, play, making, and embodiment as forms of learning and being. As the title of this series suggests, we hope that this evening and the upcoming programs offer ways to take respite from the myriad challenges of our present moment and to consider how creativity can be a form of care. These programs will be taking place weekly through January on Thursdays at 5:30 p.m., and they will all run about an hour and a half. Next up in the series on January 14th is Autobiographical Comic Workshop with illustrator Anna Moriarty-Lev and art therapist Kay Shattuck. The following week on January 21st, botanist Joan Edwards teams up with floral designer Wendy Hibble-Fannin as they explore the beauty of the winter landscape. Finally, on January 28th, Chef Aaron Oster of AOK Barbecue in North Adams and Tu Lee of 328 Farm in Williamstown take wellness from the farm to the table. We hope that you will join us for these additional experiences in the coming weeks. Additional information can be found on the museum's website, and we will also put some links in the chat just in a moment for you all. Tonight's program and the additional programs in this series will be recorded and will also be available on the museum's website after the series ends. At the end of this session, this evening, we will also have some time for a brief Q&A with Emily and Zach. You're very most welcome to write questions that you might have in the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom navigation screen anytime throughout the program. After the end of class, you can also use the hand raise feature at the bottom of your screen to raise your hand virtually. We'll then call on you so you can speak your question if you would like, and I'll be moderate that. You can also use the chat feature at any time. I see some of you already have, which is wonderful to hear from you. In case you have any technical questions or just want to shout out to us and to the audience. I'm so thrilled to be kicking off this series tonight with my colleague Ann Kennedy, WCMA's program coordinator, and I would love to turn it over to her to introduce our amazing first pair, Emily Kamen and Zachary Han. And very soon we're going to just get this program started. Thank you all so much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy the program this evening.
Thank you, Nina, and welcome everybody. I'm Anne and my pronouns are she, hers, and with great delight, I'd like to tell you a little bit about tonight's presenters, Emily and Zachary. Emily Kamen is an art historian, educator, and an environmentalist. She is a lifelong dancer, and her yoga practice strengthened and developed while she was an undergraduate student at Princeton University. She completed her teacher training in 2014, and since then has been teaching students of all ages and abilities. Emily earned her MA in June 2020 at the graduate program in the history of art at Williams College and the Clark Art Institute. In addition to her yoga practice, Emily is the associate director of Pamela Salisbury Gallery in Hudson, New York. And she is a teacher of experimental education courses for high school students and an endurance athlete. Her next online yoga class is on January 19th at 5 p.m. We will put a link to this in the chat, and we will also send that registration link in a follow-up email. Zachary Han is a multi-instrumentalist, composer, and teaching artist based in North Adams, Massachusetts. His work explores the through lines that connect classical, jazz, and experimental music. Zach graduated from the Juilliard School and has performed around the world on both clarinet and saxophone. In addition to performing, Zach is dedicated to mentoring the next generation of musicians. From 2018 to 2020, he worked extensively with the teaching artist collective Bridge Arts Ensemble. He now teaches at the music program at Bard College, where he is the youngest serving faculty member. And Zach is the recent recipient of an artist resource grant from the North Adams Artist Impact Coalition. With this grant, he is organizing a concert series featuring local musicians that will run this spring in Uno Park in North Adams. So look out for that. And with this, I will pass the torch to Emily and Zach. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nina and Anne, for the introduction, and especially for the opportunity to participate in this extraordinary and prescient program series. I hope that this program can offer some peace and some hope and some fragment of a cure in this particularly strange time. I'm Emily, and I use she, her pronouns. I moved to Williamstown, Massachusetts in the fall of 2018 to begin my master's in the history of art at Williams College. And at the same time, I started interning for the Williams College Museum of Art in the curatorial and engagement departments. In May, I was offered the opportunity to teach yoga classes for the museum, first for museum staff, and then in August, I began teaching classes inspired by different works in the museum's collection to the public. Teaching these classes has truly been a pleasure and a bright spot throughout the past few months, and I've loved connecting to works in the collection in new and deeper ways. I was thrilled and honored to be invited to participate in the Cures for Strange Times Wellness Workshop series alongside Zach Hahn. Zach and I have been friends since college, since I was at Princeton and he was at Juilliard, and I've always loved listening to him play and never imagined I'd get this opportunity to be accompanied by him. We've been quarantining together in my apartment as we've developed this class. I'll let Zach introduce himself, then I'll be speaking a bit more about the work we selected, and Zach will talk about composing the piece, and then we'll jump into the yoga class. If you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A feature, and we'll address them at the end of the class. Zach?
Thanks, Emily, and thank you all for joining us tonight. My name is Zach, and my pronouns are he, his. I'm thrilled to be a part of this program with Emily, who has been a dear friend for many years, and also because I've been participating in her art-inspired yoga classes throughout the pandemic, and so I was really excited for the opportunity to create music for one of her classes. I moved to the Berkshires from New York several months ago, and even though I'm new, it feels like I've been connected to Williamstown and the Williams College Museum of Art for quite a long time through friends like Emily and others who have gone through the graduate program at Williams College or worked at the Williams College Museum of Art. I've been lucky in the Berkshires to meet a really wonderful group of friends, including our program coordinators, Nina and Anne. For those of you in or near the Berkshires, as Anne mentioned, I'll be putting on a concert this spring in Uno Park in North Adams, so look out for details about that. I'm really honored to share this time with Emily and with all of you. Unfortunately, today is far stranger than any of us could have imagined, and I hope this class offers a moment of peace in this difficult time.
Thank you, Zach. So this is the work we've selected for tonight's class. You can sit down comfortably on the couch or laying down in bed or on the floor and take a few deep breaths. You can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And we'll take the next minute to just look and feel. You can take an inventory of what you see on the screen, the colors, composition, shapes, the brightness, the layers, how the brush strokes are working. You can also notice if this makes you think of any particular sounds, music, smells, tastes, sensations. Are there associations you're making with what you see? There are no wrong answers, so feel free to be creative in your own mind about what this brings up for you. So this work, titled Sunflowers 6, was painted by the artist Joan Mitchell in 1969. As you can see from the dimensions listed here, it's huge, over 8.5 feet tall and over 5 feet wide. So right now and throughout the class, when you picture the work, try and picture not just what's on the screen, but how it might feel to be next to something so big, wider than I am tall, taller than the tallest person who's ever lived. What would it feel like to look at this on such a massive scale, to maybe feel surrounded by it, or like it is truly monumental in your space, whatever space you're in? You can even picture it in your own house. Joan Mitchell, who you see here, was born in Chicago in 1925 and died in 1992. She was an abstract expressionist painter, and much of her career was spent in France amidst the sunflowers. In 1974, Joan Mitchell shared with the curator, quote, "Music, poems, landscape, and dogs make me want to paint, and painting is what allows me to survive." When I read that quote, I knew this was the perfect work to feature for this Cures for Strange Times series. While Mitchell is an abstract painter, her works are largely considered landscapes. She explained, "I paint from remembered landscapes that I carry with me and remembered feelings of them, which of course become transformed. I would certainly never mirror nature. I would like more to paint what it leaves with me." This understanding of relationships between nature and artistic mediums is what Zach and my practice here tonight is all about. I created a movement pattern based on the visuals of the painting, but also the associations and impressions that it left with me. This piece immediately struck me because of its energy and its brightness, and it was just so yellow and warm and fun and big. So the movement pattern that I've created moves from bottom to top. So from this base here up through the verticality of the painting, thinking about some little details like these surprising orange bursts at the bottom, and then moving to this energetic, dense center, and then to this more ethereal top with this beautiful lilac color. It's also deeply informed by things like all of the layers in this composition, these really big, bold brush strokes, the dense paint dripping down the painting, and also the moments of quiet. So when you first look, there's so much going on, but then when you look a little closer, you notice that there's so much also not going on around the sides. Zach will share a few words about composing the piece now.
Preparing the music for this class has really been a bright spot for me throughout the pandemic. Last spring, after a lot of the live music that we know disappeared so quickly, I started focusing on composing. And part of that work was learning how to deal with synthesizers, like these instruments I have in front of me. And it allowed me to realize some musical ideas that I had been considering for a while. Now, after composing a lot of smaller works or sketches in my room without having many people to play with, I was thrilled at the opportunity to create something more formal and long. When I was considering how to incorporate Mitchell's painting into this music, I was drawn to the way her sunflowers blur together with these bright yellows and these splashes of darker colors. Now, much of the music you'll hear is built from layers of material that drift in and out of phase with each other, creating this kind of blurring effect. I can play a little demonstration here. So here's one, and the second one will just blur in and out. There are also splashes of color that are going to occur with the movements that you'll be doing in the yoga class. And in addition to the painting, I guess I was thinking about sunflowers in general. In my memory or understanding of sunflowers, the nature of sunflowers, that they're so strong and grounded to the earth, but at the same time so supple and flexible. You'll notice drum patterns like this one. that will give a sense of rhythmic grounding, but at the same time, these tonal shapes and colors will be floating in and out of phase with the drums, the way a sunflower might sway in the wind. And you'll also hear wind. Now, I arranged the music to support the movements that Emily is going to take you through. I hope the music inspires you, but more than that, I hope it becomes a part of your movement, something both in the foreground and in the background, something so natural a part of the movement that you hardly notice it at all.
So the titles of Joan Mitchell's works can be seen as an indication of the kinds of feelings and remembered experiences that she was working with while she painted. Throughout her life, she referred to sunflowers in her paintings, and she said, "They're like people to me." I included a couple other sunflowers by her, a painting that's at the Met on the left and a print on the right. Mitchell also took inspiration from a number of musicians and poets, such as John Ashbery and Frank O'Hara, and of course by visual artists too. In art history, sunflower imagery is most commonly associated with Vincent van Gogh, who Mitchell really admired. Mitchell's sunflowers and Van Gogh's carry a sense of promise. In her characteristic, blunt fashion, Mitchell said about her sunflowers, "It's a yellow painting. There's hope." So I hope that you find that hope through the next hour. You're welcome to join me in the yoga class. You're also welcome to just sit back and relax in child's pose or shavasana or on your couch, moving in whatever way feels good for your body. So with that, we'll get started. So you can make your way into wherever you would like to sit, either on a block, which I like to do to just elevate my hips a little bit in the beginning of a class, or if you're sitting on your couch or just on the floor. Close your eyes. You can ground yourself by bringing the palms onto the thighs. Close the lips, inhale. Open the mouth, exhale. Close the lips, inhale. Open the mouth, exhale. Close the lips, inhale. Open the mouth and exhale. You can start to take an inventory of your own body, scanning from the crown of your head all the way to the bottom of your feet, and noticing how you feel. If you have any points of tension, tightness, congestion. Also, if you have any bright bursts of energy or jitters. At the same time, you can start thinking about the painting, going also from top to bottom. Maybe you can parallel the crown of your head with that beautiful lilac, brushy part at the top of the painting, tracing all the way down. Both what do you remember about how it looked like, and what do you remember about what you felt, or what associations that you were making. You're welcome to change your mind too. We'll keep thinking about the painting throughout the class, and allow yourself to feel new feelings or have a new taste that comes to mind, a favorite food that you think is just like Sunflower 6 to you, and probably only you. You can open your eyes and come onto your back. We'll get started with really growing from our own roots, warming up our glutes and our core, or abs, before we get started with the vinyasa movement sequence. So you can make your way onto your back. If you have a block, you can put it between the thighs the medium way. If you don't have a block, you can use a couch pillow, or you can not worry about it. Plant your feet. You want your feet about hips width apart, and maybe you could brush your heels with your fingers. Maybe they're an inch or two away. Press into the feet and lift up the hips towards the ceiling. Feeling like you're scooping your pelvis up towards your face, like you can zip up between your pubic bone and your belly button. You can lift up your arms. We're going to make little bursts of paint here. So you can make a fist with your hand and then spread out your fingers, going at your own pace, warming up the forearms. You can also keep the balls of your feet on the floor and wiggle the toes. You can hold up your right hand like you're holding a tray of your favorite food. Pull back on all 5 fingers of the right hand from the finger break, not forgetting about that hard-working thumb. You're staying lifted with the pelvis here. And you can switch hands. Glutes should really be firing by now. Bring your arms down by the sides of your body, and you can lower down your upper back, your middle back, and finally the lower back all the way down to the mat. If you have a block, you can just put it to the side. Interlace your hands behind your head, moving into one set of abdominal exercises, really working the deep core here, feeling the deep roots of our sunflower. Take a big inhale. Exhale, lift up off the shoulder blades. You want to think about drawing the ribs in towards one another and drawing the low belly down towards the floor and relaxing your head into your hands. So you're letting your abs do the work, not your neck. Inhale and come down. If that was a lot for you, just keep doing that. That's already a lot. Exhale, lift up. If you'd like to add on, you can lift the left knee up. You want the left knee directly over the left hip. So your left leg's making about a 90-degree angle to the floor. Step the left foot down and bring the head down. Exhale, lift up. Lift the right leg up so the right knee is directly over the hip. You can flex the foot, you can floint it, sort of like a point, but then the toes are flexed back. Step the right foot down and come down. Exhale, lift up. Left knee lifts. Stay here, or if you'd like to add on, extend the right leg straight. Lift up the tailbone 1 inch. Ooh, feels really intense now. Step the right foot down, left foot down, and come down. Exhale, lift up. Lift the right knee over the right hip. Extend the left leg. Lift up that tailbone 1 centimeter, pulling the ribs in and the low belly down. Step the left foot down, right foot down, and come down. Just do 2 more. Exhale, lift up. Left knee lifts, right leg extends, and now add a 2-inch twist towards the left, staying lifted off the left shoulder blade, engaging the obliques. Come back to center, step the right foot down, left foot down, and come down. Exhale, lift up. Lift the right knee, extend the left leg, add that 2-inch twist towards the right, staying lifted off the right shoulder blade. Pull the low belly down, curl the tailbone up, come back to center, step the left foot down, right foot down, and come down. Nice work. You can spread your feet out on the mat, goal post your arms, and lower the knees over towards the left. Pressing into the right foot, elongating the right inner hip. You can look over your right shoulder if that feels good. And switch. You can hug your knees in, give them a big squeeze, roll around on the sacrum, and make your way up into all fours. So you want your shoulders over your wrists, your hips over your knees. As you inhale, you can draw the chest through the arms for cow. No need to strain the neck looking up or down dramatically. And then as you exhale, you can press the floor away, round the back for cat. Just following your own breath here. You can bring your forearms down onto the mat. If you have tighter shoulders, you can interlace your hands like this. Otherwise, you can keep them parallel. Tuck the toes and lift up the hips for dolphin. Lifting up from underneath the armpits. It's okay to bend the knees. Then you can lift up onto the tiptoes, shifting the pelvis forward. Lower the heels. Don't need to touch the mat. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Couple more times at your own pace. One more big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Bring the knees down, touch the big toes together, and press back into a wide-kneed child's pose. This is a good opportunity to remind you that this is a yoga class. It should feel good. So if something doesn't feel good for your body, feel free to modify it, skip it, do something else entirely. You know your body better than me, so I encourage you to listen to it. When you're ready, you can make your way to the top of your mat, coming to Tadasana. Ground your feet, you can close your eyes, and take another moment to picture the painting. You can picture yourself standing in front of it, all 8.5 feet tall. Or you can picture yourself as it. What would it look like if your body and the painting sort of became one? You could picture yourself making it. All of those beautiful colors and brush strokes on your body, coming out of you. And you can open your eyes. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, folds forward. Bending the knees, keeping the spine long, plant both hands on the mat. Step the right leg back. Drop the right knee and the top of the right foot. Inhale, arms lift. Plant the hands. Step back to plank. Come to the knees. And lower down in one long and strong piece. The elbows point towards the back wall. Your whole torso touches the mat at the same time. Draw the chest through low cobra and press back downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward in between the hands. If it doesn't get there on its own without picking up the right hand, you can just move it. Lower the left knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. Lifting straight up towards the ceiling, like a sunflower reaching towards the sun. Plant the hands, forward fold. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, folds forward. Step the left leg back. Drop the knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Come to the knees and lower. Chest draws through low cobra. And press back downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Drop the right knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. Plant the hands, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. We'll do that all again. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right leg back. Drop the knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Come to the knees and lower. Chest draws through low cobra and press back downward facing dog. Step the right foot forward. Drop the left knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. Plant the hands, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Last time, exhale, forward fold. Step the left leg back. Drop the knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. Plant the hands, step back to plank. Come to the knees and lower. Chest draws through low cobra and press back downward facing dog. Step the left foot forward. Drop the right knee and the top of the foot. Inhale, arms lift. Plant the hands, forward fold. Inhale, arms rise. Moving on from here, exhale, forward fold. We'll start with that most grounded towards the floor sequence. Step the right leg back. Drop the knee, but not the toes this time. Keep them curled under. Bring your arms back behind you in a low V. Spreading the collarbones out like you're flying your superhero cape behind you. And you're using the right toes to shift the right hip forward and the left hip back. You can start lifting and lowering that left heel. Just little flicks of paint. Bring the left heel down, plant the hands, slide the left knee back to meet the right for cat-cow. Come to a neutral spine, and we'll move between alternating modified side planks. So you can bring your left hand a little bit towards the right, kickstand your left foot towards the left side of the room, and open up into a modified side plank facing the right. Your left knee is below the left hip. The right foot can be on the floor or lifted. Now bring the right hand and the right knee down, modified side plank facing the left. Plant the left hand, left knee comes down, modified side plank facing the right. Look down at your left hand, step the right foot forward. So your knees are both bent, making this 90-90 position with the legs. The right arm is lifted and you're opening up the chest towards the right. And then like a big brush stroke, you can sweep your right arm down, behind the right leg, tap the left ribs, sweep it up. Sweep it down and up. Rotating from the obliques, twisting the rib cage. A few more times like this. And then you can plant the right hand, step back downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Shift forward to plank, shoulders over wrists. Low belly lifted. Lift up, downward facing dog. Shift forward to plank. Lift the hips down, dog. Shift forward to plank and hold here. Pressing the floor away from you for 3, 2, and 1. We're going to lower all the way down to the belly. Feel free to come to the knees first. Arms come by the sides of the body. Lift up the chest, the legs, and the arms for locust. Lower down. And press back, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. and walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, arms lift. We'll do the other side. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left leg back. Drop the knee, keep the toes curled under. Arms fly out behind you. Thinking about drawing the left hip forward, the right hip back, and you can start lifting and lowering the right heel. Hands plant. Right knee slides back. Cat-cow. Come to a neutral spine. You can bring your right hand a little bit closer to the left. Kickstand that right leg towards the right. Open up into a modified side plank facing the left. Sweeping that left arm up. Bring the left hand down. Left knee down. Modified side plank facing the right. Right hand, right knee come down. Modified side plank facing the left. Look down at your right hand. Step the left foot forward. You're in this 90-90 position. Chest is open toward the left. You can sweep your left arm down. Big stroke. Tap your right ribs. And lift. Sweep down. And lift. Sweep down and lift. One more time. Bring the left hand down. Step back, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. You can pedal out the feet. Lift up on the toes. Roll forward plank. Lift the hips, down dog. Come up on the toes, roll forward plank. Lift the hips, down dog. Roll forward plank. Hold here for 3, 2, and 1. Feel free to come to the knees. We'll lower all the way down to the belly. Arms come by the sides of the body. Lift up the chest, the legs, and the arms for locust. Lower down. And press back, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. You can walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, arms lift. We'll do a few rounds of sun salut. Saluting the sun, saluting the sunflowers. Exhale, forward fold. Make your way back to plank. Walking back, lightly hopping back, and lower down halfway or all the way for chaturanga. Chest draws through for cobra or upward facing dog, and press back, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, walk or lightly hop forward. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Make your way back to plank and lower. Cobra up dog and downward facing dog. Bend the knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Make your way back to plank and lower. Cobra up dog and downward facing dog. Last time, bend the knees, walk or hop forward. Inhale, arms lift. Bend the knees for Utkatasana chair pose, moving on to our next middle of the canvas sequence. As you exhale, you can swing the arms down, folding forward, and as you inhale, you can lift the arms up. Exhale, sweep the arms down. Inhale, lift. Those bold, big strokes, creating those bright circular bursts. Can rise to stand. Bend the knees, Utkatasana chair pose. And cross your right ankle just over your left knee for a figure 4 stretch. Keeping the spine long, the chest lifted, and the left knee bent as deeply as feels good for your body. Step the right leg open, warrior 2. So a nice wide stance, stretching the mat out with your feet, or feeling like you're stretching that canvas out over 5 feet. Reverse your warrior. Left forearm to left thigh, warrior variation. Reverse your warrior. Warrior variation. And you can sweep your right arm down and around, bring you to a high crescent lunge facing the front. Your feet are about hips width apart. Both hip points are facing forward. And then engage the core, engage the right glute, shift onto the left leg for airplane. You're aiming for a level pelvis. It's okay to have the left knee bent. Step the left foot down, keep the chest facing the floor. Sweep the left leg back for airplane. I like to keep my hands on the back of my pelvis to sort of steer it down, tell it where to go. Step the left foot down, right leg sweeps back. And then you can bring your hands down onto the mat for a standing L. So your right toes are facing the mat. Your chest is drawing through your arms, almost like that cow position. You're really leaning into the hands. And then you can bring your right leg behind the left, coming into a seated spinal twist. Big inhale here. Open the mouth, exhale. You can roll the shoulders back and forward. Plant the hands. Come back into a downward facing dog. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Step your feet in an inch or two towards the hands. Bend the knees. We're going to create those tight bursts of energy and pain. Imagine like your pelvis is on a Ferris wheel. So it's making a circle, but it's only going in one direction. So you can bend the knees, keep the arms straight and strong, and go down, up, and around. Really grip the mat with your hands. Then you can switch directions, see how that works. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, arms lift. We'll do the other side. Exhale, sweep down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, sweep down. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, sweep down. Inhale, arms lift. Sweep and lift. Bend the knees, Utkatasana chair pose. Cross the left ankle over the right knee, figure 4 stretch. Flexing the left foot, bending the right knee as deeply as feels good. Step the left leg out to the left, warrior two. So your right toes are facing the front, your left toes are facing the left. You're stretching out your canvas, stretching out your arms, the full extent of your wingspan. Reverse your warrior. Right forearm to right thigh, warrior variation. Feels so good. Reverse your warrior. Then you can sweep that right arm down and around, pivoting into a high crescent lunge facing the front. The right foot's in front, left glute is engaged. Pull yourself together before we shift onto the right leg for airplane. You can use those hands to steer your pelvis where you want it. Step the left foot down, sweep the right leg back. Step the right foot down, sweep the left leg back. You can bring your hands down onto the mat, leaning into them, drawing the chest through the arms. That's standing L. The left toes are facing the mat. Left leg comes behind the right, seated spinal twist. You can roll out your shoulders and forward. Bring your hands towards the front. Step back, downward facing dog. Walk the toes in an inch or two. We're going to bring that pelvis on the Ferris wheel, making those most energetic, dense spots. And switch directions. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, arms lift. We'll move into one round of Sun Sal B. Bend the knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Step back to plank and lower. Cobra, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Step the left foot forward in between the hands. Rise up, warrior one. So both hip points are facing forward. Your right toes are facing about 1 o'clock. Your feet are hips width apart. Plant the hands, step back to plank and lower. Cobra up dog and downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Step the right foot forward. Rise up, warrior one. Plant the hands, step back to plank and lower. Cobra up dog and downward facing dog. Take a big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Lift the left leg up, three-legged down dog. We'll move into the third sequence, the highest one yet. You can bring your left knee in towards the nose, shoulders over the wrists. Lift back up, three-legged down dog. Left knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Three-legged down dog. Left knee to nose. Step the left foot forward in between the hands. And rise up, high crescent lunge. Pivot to face the right side of the room, paralleling the feet. We're going to move into side lunges, but reach the left arm up towards the right corner of the room or your canvas. Then bend the left knee, straighten the right leg, bring the right hand to the top left corner. And then down to the bottom right, bottom left. So you're reaching across the body, up, up, down, and down. Hold, reaching towards the left with your right hand. Spin the left toes so they're facing the left side of the room. Bring the left fingertips down and shift onto the left leg for half moon. You can bend the left knee. You can use a block or a table or whatever kind of prop to bring the floor to you. You can step the right leg to the right, coming into a goddess squat, adding some pulses here. Pivot to face the front of the mat, high crescent lunge. Shift onto the left leg, bringing the right knee in towards the chest. And then you can sweep the right leg back, tap the right fingertips on the mat. Left hand can be on your hip, and lift. Right knee in towards the chest. Left arm sweeps up. Right leg sweeps back. Right fingertips touch the floor. And lift. One more time. I know it's hard. Step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward folds. Walk the feet back, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We'll do the other side. Right leg lifts. Right knee comes in towards the nose, shoulders over wrists. Lift, three-legged down dog. Right knee to nose, shoulders over wrists. Three-legged down dog. Right knee to nose. Step the right foot forward in between the hands and rise up, high crescent lunge. Pivot the feet to face the left. The body to face the left too. Bend the left knee, right leg is straight. Reach towards the top left corner. Top right corner with the left hand. Across the body, bottom left, bottom right. So you're making this big X. You can imagine paint shooting out from your fingertips, creating your own beautiful, messy canvas. End up reaching to the top right. Turn the right toes so they're facing the front. Bring the right fingertips down, shifting into half moon. Again, do whatever it takes to bring the floor to you, whether that's bending the knee, using a block, or using a table or something. Step the left foot down, goddess squat. Pivot to face the front of the room, high crescent lunge. Really gather your energy here. You'll need it. Shift onto the right leg. Left knee comes in towards the chest. Your left arm can be lifted up towards the ceiling. As you sweep the left leg back, you can tap your right fingertips to the mat. Your left fingertips to the mat. And then as you lift the left knee in towards the chest, right arm lifts. So it's opposite. Left fingertips come down, left leg back. Left knee in towards the chest and lift. Really grounding your right leg, that supporting leg, into the mat. firm stem. One more time. Step the left foot down to meet the right. Hands come to prayer at heart center. We're going to be putting that all together now, taking some things out, putting some stuff in. So now is a great opportunity to take a sip of water if you need one. All right. When you're ready, you can come back to the top of your mat. Close your eyes again. So we've warmed up our bodies, we've moved in a variety of ways. Picture the painting again in your mind. Are there details that particularly stick out to you? Are there parts of the canvas that you can't quite remember? What were those sounds or smells or tastes or sensations that you were associating? And has that changed based on the music you've been hearing and the movements you've been doing? When you're ready, you can float open your eyes. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right leg back. Drop the knee, keep the toes curled under. Hook the thumbs and lift up the arms. So you're blossoming your fingertips out. You can lift and lower the left heel. Plant the hands, slide the left knee back for cat-cow. If you have some more mobility in your spine now, you can try making it a circular cat-cow. Imagining that you're painting the space around you with your body as it moves through space. You can switch directions. Bring the left hand a bit towards the right, open up, modified side plank. Right hand down, right knee down, left arm lifts, modified side plank. Bring the left hand down, left knee down, right arm lifts, modified side plank. Look down at your left hand, step the right foot forward. This time you can come onto the balls of the feet, extend the left leg, engage the left glute for a twisted crescent lunge. You can sweep the right leg down, tap the left ribs, and lift. Sweep, and lift. Sweep, and lift. Bring the right hand down, step the right leg back, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Shift forward into plank. And lower all the way down to the belly. You're welcome to come to the knees first. Arms come by the sides of the body. Lift up the chest, the legs, and the arms for locust or bow. Lower down and press back, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, arms lift. We'll sweep the arms down, lift them up. If you have excess energy, you can lift up on your tiptoes, or if you have excess energy from that, you can even add a little hop. We'll meet up in Utkatasana chair pose. Cross the right ankle over the left knee, figure 4 stretch. And step the right foot out to the right, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Warrior variation. Reverse warrior. Warrior variation. Sweep the right arm down and around, high crescent lunge. Engaging the core, engaging the right glute. Shift onto that left leg into airplane. Bring the hands down underneath the shoulders, standing L. Right leg comes behind the left, seated spinal twist. And you can roll your shoulders out. And forward. Plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Walk the feet in an inch towards the hands. Bend the knees, keep the arms super straight. And we'll ride that circle motion. And you can switch directions. Step the left foot forward. Pivot the toes to face the right. We'll move right into those alternating up and down side lunges. So reaching towards the right corner, reaching towards the left, down and down. Going at your own pace. This time you can end with your right hand right by your left foot. Pivot towards so the feet face the front, twisted crescent lunge. Bring the right knee down. And if this is a deep enough stretch for you, just stay here. This is already a really big stretch. If it feels okay, you can pick up the right foot, reach around with the left hand until you catch it, and bring the left knee in towards midline. Breathing really deeply here. If you have the right foot, you can release it. Step the right foot to meet the left. Inhale, arms lift. Got one more side to do. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left leg back. Drop the knee, keep the toes curled under. Try the opposite hook of the thumbs. It's probably the one that feels a little funkier. And you can start lifting and lowering your right heel. Bring the hands down, slide the right knee back, cat-cow. Or coming right into those circular cat-cows. Come to a neutral spine. Bring the right hand in an inch towards the left. You can kickstand that right foot out to the right. Sweep the left arm open, modified side plank. Bring the left hand, left knee down, modified side plank to the right. Right hand, right knee come down, modified side plank to the left. Look down at the right hand, step the left foot forward, Curl the right toes under, lift up the right knee, twisted crescent lunge. You can sweep the left hand down, tap the right ribs, and lift. Tap and lift. Rotating that rib cage, tap and lift. Bring the left hand down, step the left leg back, downward facing dog. Big inhale and exhale. Shift forward into plank. You're welcome to come to the knees first. Lower all the way down to the belly. Arms come by the sides of the body. Lift up the chest, the legs, and the arms for locust, or bend the knees, catch the feet for bow. Lower down and press back, downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Walk the feet up to meet the hands. Inhale, arms lift. Gathering that energy, creating it here. Exhale, folds forward. Inhale and lift. Lifting onto the tiptoes or lifting right off your toes or staying on your feet. Bring the heels down, bend the knees, Utkatasana chair pose. Cross the left ankle over the right knee, figure four stretch. Flexing the left foot, bending that right knee as deeply as feels good. Maybe it's different from last time. Step the left leg open, warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Right forearm to right thigh, warrior variation. Reverse your warrior. And sweep the right arm down and around, bring you into a high crescent lunge facing the front. Gathering your energy, engaging the left glute, engaging the core. Shift onto the right leg for airplane. Bring the hands right below the shoulders, standing L. Left leg comes behind the right, seated spinal twist. Can roll the shoulders back and forward. Plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale. Walk the feet in an inch. Last time, making those tight little circles, bringing the pelvis down, up and around, gripping the mat with the hands. And switching directions. Step the right foot forward in between the hands. Pivot to face the left side of the room. Bend the left knee. Right arm reaches towards the left corner. Reach the left arm towards the right top corner. Right hand to the left foot. Left hand to the right foot. So making that big sweeping X across the body. Bend the right knee. Left hand is down by the right foot. Pivot to face the front, twisted crescent lunge. So the left hand's in line with the right foot. Bring the left knee down. If this is enough for you, stay here. It's already a big hip opener. If you'd like to add on, you can lift up the left foot, reach around with the right hand, catch it, Bringing that right knee in towards midline and just breathing here. Amazing work. You can release the left foot and just come down onto your butt. You can make your way onto your back. We'll do a few more hip openers. So just like what we were doing in standing figure four, we're going to do figure four on your back. So you can cross the left ankle over the right knee. You can catch on the inside of the right thigh, flex your feet, sink into the right hip. Breathing here. If you want a bit of a deeper stretch, you can bring the hands to the top of the right shin. And switch. Noticing if the two sides of your body feel any different. Sinking the left hip. Flexing the right foot. Think about drawing the left knee towards the front of the room. Just breathing. And then you can extend your legs, extend your arms, close your eyes, and just breathe for the next few moments. Throughout her life, Joan Mitchell collaborated with poets such as John Ashbery, creating beautiful books with prints alongside poems. She admired poems written about art, such as Jean Genet on Giacometti or Rilke on Cézanne. In a 2013 exhibition that the Poetry Foundation put on, they paired Mitchell's painting with a passage from Rilke's letters on Cézanne, which aptly described Mitchell's work too. As if these colors could heal one of indecision once and for all, the good conscience of these reds, these blues, I would add these yellows. Their simple truthfulness, it educates you. And if you stand beneath them as acceptingly as possible, it's as if they were doing something for you. It's as if every place were aware of all the other places. It participates that much adjustment and rejection is happening in it. That's how each dab plays its part in maintaining equilibrium and in producing it, just as the whole picture finally keeps reality in equilibrium. So as you remain here in Shavasana for the next minute or so, you can let the colors of our Joan Mitchell painting swirl through your mind. What truths do they hold for you? How do they educate you? What stands between you and the painting? Keeping your eyes closed, you can slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists and your ankles. And reach your arms up overhead in a final full body stretch, fingers to toes, bottom of the painting all the way to the top. Hug your knees in and give yourself a great big loving squeeze. And however feels best, you can make your way to a comfortable seat facing forward. Close the lips, inhale. Open the mouth, exhale. And as you gently open your eyes, you can look at the screen and see if the painting looks different to you based on what you felt in your body, what you heard, the beautiful, extraordinary music of Zach Hahn. Have things changed? Have they stayed the same? Are there new landscapes, sensations, smells, tastes, and sounds that are evoked for you and maybe only you by this painting? Can use that as a prompt to open discussion, which I look forward to having with all of you. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, for joining us. It was such a pleasure. Thank you.
Zach and Emily, thank you so much for this beautiful practice, for your beautiful music, Zach. We are so grateful, and thank you all who've joined us this evening. We'd love to take a couple moments for anyone who'd like to stick around. If you would like to ask a question of Emily or Zach, or would like to share a reflection, we would love to hear it. As a reminder, you're welcome to drop questions in the chat, the Q&A, or use the hand raise feature at the bottom of your Zoom navigation screen, and I will let you speak. And thank you all who are sharing your beautiful reflections on the practice to us as well. It's wonderful to hear. Emily and Zach, we had a question come in about actually your process of choosing the work, and wonder if you could talk a little bit about that, whether there were other works you were looking at, how you maybe searched our collection, if you looked only at paintings. We'd love to hear your reflections and thoughts on that.
Yeah, so maybe I'll get started with that. As I mentioned earlier, I interned for 2 years at the Williams College Museum of Art. And during that time, Chad, who used to work at the Williams College Museum of Art, created a really great piece of software called Collection Explorer. Maybe if it's possible, someone can drop a link to that in the chat. It's a really fun way of searching the collection. And I use it a lot for creating these art-inspired yoga classes, because even in 2 years working at the museum, I was only able to see such a fragment of the over 15,000 objects in the collection. So I used that. Zach and I decided we wanted to do a painting. We liked both the flatness and the layering. We wanted to do something bright and hopeful. So I went through and picked like 15 or 20 options, and this one immediately stuck out to both of us as one we loved and one that we saw so much creative possibility for.
And if I may just quickly, as someone who's taken Emily's class many times before, I had full faith that she had all the right criteria for which would be the best painting. So I really left it up to her. She came up with a handful through which we then discussed which would be most appropriate, and ended on the Joan Mitchell.
That's great to hear. And I did drop in a link in the chat to the Collection Explorer feature, which really is such a fun way of sort of searching visually and thinking about different ways of engaging with art also. just wanted to see if others had things they wanted to share. If people are sharing with us some really beautiful reflections. We have someone who shared that they saw a face in the painting that they didn't see before, a head with an eye, and shared how it's funny that you suddenly see things differently, which I know from my experience taking your classes, Emily, I often feel after a physical practice that things are different. But I love that observation that Susan shared, because it's so interesting to think also about how sunflowers are so anthropomorphic in a certain way, and so almost human. That's something I really love about sunflowers as well. Yeah, beautiful reflections. Thank you, everybody. And yes, we have someone saying that they're hopeful that we can gather in the galleries in person, and absolutely, we wish also that we could be in person all together to share a practice like this. So we are hopeful that as we all care for ourselves and for each other, we can await a time where we can all be in physical space together as well. And someone else shared, that they felt the painting become three-dimensional after the practice. It's a beautiful, amazing feeling. Exciting to hear. Someone else is sharing that they also saw more movement in the painting after the practice. Lovely reflection. We also have a question from Anne about a little more, maybe just to hear a little more from you, Zach, about like your process of creating music. I know you've already shared a little bit, but it was wonderful to hear that start to things. And if you have anything else you want to share with us, that'd be great.
Sure. It was a new experience for me to have to write music for something that wasn't purely musical, because often when you're writing music, you are creating the form of whatever it is that you're writing, whether it be a song or an extended piece of classical music or a jazz tune. You are writing with a form in mind, but when I was writing this, the form was already set because I had to sort of abide by the form of Emily's yoga class. So I was thinking of something that could move through the different sections, through the sun salutations and the sequences and the stream and the wind down with the hip flexors and things that would smoothly change between each one, but not so drastically change that it would draw attention away from the movement itself. So there was a little bit of a challenge in finding things that were engaging and colorful and not monotonous, but also not drawing too much attention outside of the focus, which was really the yoga class. I almost felt like it was writing music for maybe a ballet or an opera or something where there's a whole nother element that needs to be accounted for. So that was a new experience for me and a really rewarding one.
And that's beautiful, Zach. And I think that definitely came across what you were saying earlier about the layering and creating this sense of sort of the sounds moving in and out that will like sort of mirrors the Joan Mitchell process of layering paint. I really heard that in the music, and it was really special to think about also the layering of a physical practice of the body, also with the sonic experience. So wonderful.
Thank you, Nina.
Well, I think if anyone else has any questions or comments, we'd love to hear them in the next just minute or so before we sign off. But in the meantime, I really just want to give a huge thanks to Emily and Zach, a huge thanks to Anne Kennedy, our wonderful program coordinator, and a huge thanks to everyone who's joined us tonight. We do have a survey that will go out. It actually will pop up on your screen after you leave here. And we will also, it'll come through in the survey, the sort of follow-up email that you'll get tomorrow, which also includes links to the upcoming programs, including Emily's next art-inspired yoga class, which we will also plan to resume sort of in more full force soon. So we're excited about that. And we did have one more question. that since this is recorded, Emily and Zach, will you take your own class? That's a great question.
Do you take your own classes, Emily?
I never have before, but I might. I mean, I definitely want to hear more of Zach's music, so that could be a good opportunity.
It could be a fun experience, absolutely. Well, I hope maybe, Zach, you'll also get the chance to experience your beautiful music and Emily's beautiful practice.
I hope.
Yes. Yes, and we did record this. It will also go up on the museum's website soon, on the Cures for Strange Times homepage, and that'll continue to be accessible if anyone wants to revisit. I certainly know I will. That was the only sad thing for me. I couldn't take the class today, so I know I certainly will take the class later on. But yeah, I think want to wish everybody a beautiful, restful evening. Please take care of yourselves, drink water, do what you need for you. And Emily and Zach, so grateful for you and for your continued work and collaboration and friendship.
Thank you so much, Nina.
Thank you, Nina.
And thank you everyone for coming.
Truly, thank you, everyone.
You all see you soon. Take care.